What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys have an amazing day so far. Like always, if you're new to the channel, I want you guys to hit the thumbs up, and only if I brought value to you guys through this video or any other video, I want you guys to hit the subscribe icon. For today's gameplay, I want to talk to you guys about 7 Octane tips to become a better Octane main within the rank structure. Now, I have done multiple videos in the past in regards to being a better Octane player for Season 7 and even Season 6, which you guys can see now on the screen above. And even you can check out some of the video on the top right corner. But today I really want to focus within the rank structure and how you can become a better Octane player within the rank solo queue or even team queue. 1. Be aggressive. Octane is one of those champions right now that is the most aggressive champion within Apex Legend. So if you're not playing him to his best of ability, which is being an aggressive champion, you are not playing him properly. So now I have talked about how you place yourself and ultimately really how you focus on becoming a better Octane aggressive champion in one of my previous video. But today I really want to talk about if you are winning silver or bronze, you should be focusing on being the most aggressive champion possible, or even being the most aggressive player ever that is going to be in the entire map. So you being an Octane, you should be pushing everyone, you should be pushing everything, and really you should be hot dropping every single time. The reason why and the reason behind this is because if you are stuck in bronze or even silver, your sole purpose and goal should be to focus on earning or learning how to become a better aim or even how to hit more shots. So if you're not being aggressive and you're not focusing on looting as fast as possible and then just going for the first fight that you see, you're not being a good Octane in a sense. So if you're bronze or silver, don't focus too much on the rotation aspect, but focus more on the aggressive and going for kills aspect of the gameplay. Number 2, focus on getting kills. So being an Octane main and you being as much aggressive as you possibly can and hot dropping and all those things, you should be focusing on getting as many kills as possible. Being Octane, you should be able to get in fight easily, be able to back out of fights easily, as I mentioned in my previous videos, and you should be able to really just third party anybody that you can and really can reach. So go for kills. Don't focus too much on your positioning. You shouldn't be focused on anything, specifically if you are stuck within bronze or silver. Now, if you are in the higher elos, I understand if you're being a little bit more defensive and not as aggressive, but you still should be focusing on getting for the kills. So if you are an Octane main, no matter where you stand, you should be going for kills. Number 3. Rotate constantly. Now this is something that is more related to gold 1 all the way up to diamond players. So this is when you get more to the advanced gameplay where you lose a little bit more RPs and the strategic aspect of the game is a little bit better. This is where ultimately a lot of the players already know how to aim properly, hit a lot more of their shots. So the way you have to be able to play is you have to rotate constantly, specifically if you already have a good amount of kills and you already you landed in a very good spot. You need to be able to rotate to the next circle and position yourself at the high end of the game. If you pretty much you have to position yourself in the high of the hill, go for the hill top. Or if you have to position yourself inside a building, if you have a caustic with you, then that's would be pretty much your purpose, is to rotate constantly and stick with your team in a sense. So number 3, focus on rotation and focus really on getting as many kills as possible. Number 4, watch your positioning. So this is more related to platinum going towards diamond, because in the diamond and even platinum gameplays or lobbies, I've seen quite a bit of Octane that just tend to get out of position way too much, trying to expose themselves by brushing everybody in wide open map. If you aren't currently playing in Olympus and you're rushing an enemy team that is not very low or is just has one low enemy, or you can't just rush enemies in the open field, because realistically speaking you still have 2 enemies that will be targeting you, and chances are if you are within platinum or even diamond, they will hit every single one of their shots. So you being an Octane main, you have to be careful. You have to be extremely careful on your positioning and kind of keep your constant having cover nearby, or potentially having your next rotation available to you, so you know where to rotate next, and not so much focusing on being an extremely aggressive champion. So being aggressive is more towards the silver and bronze gameplay. When it comes to diamond, even platinum gameplay, you have to be focusing more on your positioning and focusing on your position within your map and your allies. So this is something that is extremely important. Don't be focused on diving everything and focusing on killing everyone, but rather be focused on where you can position yourself the best possible way in order for you to whether it is flank your enemy or even hit them from the rear if possible, because you being Octane and having your ult that you can jump over traps and stuff like that, it's a little bit easier for you to flank enemies that they may not even know about. So be very strategic as to when to use your ult, even when to use your stem, and really position yourself in a way that you can rotate properly towards cover or even towards your allies if needed. Number 5, back off when needed. Now this is something that even myself have felt that doing quite a bit, because I am one of those champions that is extremely aggressive, as you guys can see in a lot of my YouTube channel, a lot of my gameplay. I dive everything and I dive anyone, whether I'm playing rank or anything else. But it really comes down to you need to know when to back off from a fight and when to push in and press on. You need to be able to position yourself in a proper way and really be able to rotate cover to cover and really look at your ally positioning, because if you don't know where your allies are, this is more towards the diamond going towards master, is about more strategic aspect of rotating with your team and constantly moving towards a better positioning from cover aspect, and be able not to be too far away from your lifeline or even being way too far away from your caustic in a sense. So back off whenever you're being overly aggressive and way out of your team, because if the enemy teams realize that you're far ahead of the lifeline or even far ahead of anybody that's within your allies, they're going to be pressing you hard, and you're not going to be able to move or even help your team if they get third party from the rear as well. So be very position like and very kind of in the mindset of like, where's my allies, where should I rotate next, and where my positioning is compared to them. So know when to back off and know when to press on. Number 6, focus on low or down enemies. So you being Octane, ultimately being able to reach the enemy on the opposite side of you a lot faster than possibly your allies or lifeline or even a bang or somebody's just like even a caustic who's a lot slower than regular champions. It is your main goal to ultimately reach those down enemies and thirst them and ultimately finish them, so your allies receive that RP and you potentially get your assistant RP as well. So keep that in mind, that your goal is ultimately to push those guys that are down, or ultimately whenever their shield gets broken and they become that last shot pretty much, it's your goal to push those guys, get that last kill, get that last assist, and really focus on those guys in particular when it comes to the late or when it comes to the diamond or even master lobbies. Platinum is similar, just make sure that you just kind of stick to cover, not just rush an open field, because most likely the enemy, other two guys are going to be shooting at you the entire time and will try to finish you off in the open field. So if you can rotate to a little bit of a cover area and then flank the enemy from the left and thirst that enemy before the lifeline reaches him or anybody else reaches him and trying to res him, that is your goal as an Octane main to be doing, is ultimately to finish those guys and thirst them and even press the enemy from the flank, pushing them not to res and kind of just rotate out in the more defensive position, giving you guys as a more advantage aspect of things. So keep that in mind. Number 7, watch where your allies are. Now this is more tactical aspect of thing. This kind of correlate with the rotation from number 3, the positioning for number 4, as well as number 5, backing off when needed. So watching where your allies are is extremely important, because a lot of us don't quite pay attention to the mini map or even the actual map when we're in the middle of a fight. The reason why I say watch where your allies are is because when you go down to like plat 1 or even plat 2, it's very strategic in a sense. Your placement is everything, and if you kind of overextend or place yourself in a cover where your allies can easily reach you without being exposed in a sense to enemy fire, the chances are the enemy team will probably rotate on you or focus fire you. If they have a bank, she can ult you, and really if she has a Gibraltar, they can ult you, and you will be at a very disadvantaged aspect. Either because you have to reach back to your allies and you have to cross that open field again, and then you're going to be either down by the enemy open fire, or you're potentially going to be ulted that way. So be extremely careful as to where your allies are. Make sure that you don't go too far ahead or you fall too far behind where you know you can potentially get blocked out by enemies. So keep that in mind. Watch where your allies are, watch your mini map, watch your positioning, watch your rotation, and really pay attention to where everyone is. Now this is more focused towards the solo queue aspect of the gameplay, because if you are playing with the team, you should be able to communicate a lot better and communicate your intention, whether or not you're being aggressive and pushing towards, you know, the next positioning, or ultimately if somebody tells you, hey, you need to back off, you're going way too far ahead when you're not paying attention. So keep that in mind. Watch where your allies are, watch the mini map, and watch the actual map in the middle of a fight. Just take a moment and do those things, because if you don't, chances are, you know, you're gonna be focused on the whole entire time. This is a mistake that I still need to focus on and really work on in order for me to even get to diamond, potentially get all the way up to master. Now, one thing I really want to make things clear right off the back is, in order for you to reach master or even predator, you need to play a lot of Apex. Realistically speaking, one of the main reasons why I'm not high diamond or even diamond right now or even master is because I can't spend 12 hours of my day playing Apex, or even spend a lot of time playing Apex. I'm a very casual player, you know, as you guys may already know. I play maybe 2 to 3 hours a day, and I don't even play every single day. So keeping that in mind, it's quite difficult for me to be able to reach the master tier or even the predator tiers when those guys spend anywhere between 12 to even 16 hours a day playing their game. So if that is you, you know, then you can put that sort of commitment into the game, then go ahead, by all means, then put in the work and you should be able to reach those. But if you're bronze or silver, you should be focusing on your aim, your looting fast as you can, and ultimately really your rotational aspect. Once you become gold, it's all about it kind of goes back towards your aggressiveness, your killing, and then your rotation. And once you become platinum, diamond, and even master, it's all about your positioning with your allies and more strategic kind of understanding of the map and seeing how the circle closes a little bit faster. You can position yourself over the enemy ahead of time. So it's more of like you need to be paying attention as to what sort of elo you're trying to reach and kind of be realistic aspect. And you being an Octane main, position yourself in a way that you don't only hurt yourself but actually trying to prevent from hurting yourself and the team, because if the chances are if you go down and the enemy team go down, the same thing will happen where they will be rushing you to thirst you and then rushing the rest of your team, because at that point will be a 2v3. So keep that in mind. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Let me know in the comment section whether or not this helped you, and if it does, hit the thumbs up, and only if I brought value to you guys through this video or in the video, I want you guys to hit the subscribe icon. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.
We dead? Last team. Just hold up here,
Leave it there in the corner.
Confirm damage. Confirm damage on this guy. Where is he?
He's got a red baller.
Prowler SMG here.
Freshening up with a Phoenix kit.
You need to go to that circle.
Did he run?
My shields.
I don't know.
Not too far from range. Got 10.
He ran.
Throwing a jump drive.
I want to get this guy. I'm really close.
Oh, yeah,
to
it's below me.
Oh, okay.
Come here, come shoot him. I'll be bait.
He's over here.
Nice shot, man. GG's, boys. That was a crazy game. Hemlock for the dude. Hemlock is the best weapon in the season. I'm convinced. Like you Hemlock R9, you're tearing up the whole lobby.
The Apex champions.
Yeah, it's so gross that I can't even tell that it got. See with the triple take, I can't even tell the triple take on her. Oh, my best game ever. Let's go.